Hi lovelies! With cold and flu season fast approaching, I wanted to share with you one of my very favorite chicken soup recipes that is just loaded with good for you ingredients and guaranteed to soothe your soul. It's super hearty and comforting, but comes together in less than 30 minutes on the stove. So there is just so much to love. Speaking of a lot to love, I wanted to remind you guys that I have some amazing ebooks available over on my website, thedomesticgeek.com, including my 30-minute meals ebook that is just packed with awesome recipes that can all be prepared, of course, in under 30 minutes. I hope you'll check them out. I've linked them in the description box below, or you can find them on thedomesticgeek.com. Now, without further ado, let's talk about this absolutely amazing soup. Now guys, when it comes to cold and flu season, this soup is your new secret weapon. It is full of good for you ingredients that are sure to cure what ails ya. Now to get started, I've got my nice big soup pot heating up over medium-high heat, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little oil to that. Now guys, if you have not yet invested in one of these amazing enameled cast iron soup pots, I highly recommend you do. It's one of the best kitchen investments you will ever make, and you don't have to spend a ton of cash on it. I know there are some that are available that are hundreds of dollars. I never spend that kind of money on my kitchenware. This one I think I got maybe for $60 or $70. I've got a couple of my favorite soup pots like this linked in the description box below. You can take a look for them there if you're interested. Now that my oil is nice and hot, I'm just gonna go ahead and add my onion to the pan, some celery, and some carrot. Basically, it's the base for every great soup that you love. And we're just gonna let those veggies cook away for, say, 3 to 5 minutes, just until they're nice and soft and that celery has turned bright green. Now it's time to get even more cold fighting goodness into this soup, and we're gonna do that with some garlic. I've got 3 minced cloves here. You can cut that down if you want to, or add more if you want to. It's totally your call. I'll let that garlic cook up for another 30 seconds or so, just until it's nice and fragrant, and then I'm going to add my chicken to the pot. So I'm using some cooked rotisserie chicken here that I just pulled off the bone. This is a perfect recipe for any leftover chicken you may have. If you are using fresh chicken in this recipe, you'll just want to go ahead and poach your chicken until it's fully cooked in your broth. Then you can remove it, chop it up or shred it, and then get it back into the pot. Now, instead of using noodles or rice or potatoes to help make this soup more filling, today I'm actually using white beans. So these are canned white kidney beans, also known as cannellini beans, that I've just rinsed and drained, and I'm going to add them right into my soup. What I love about white beans like this is that they are packed with both fiber and protein. So you're getting additional nutrition on top of all of that great filling texture. So there's so much to love. Next, I'm gonna go in and just pour over my broth. So I'm using a really nice quality chicken broth. If you've got homemade broth, of course, that is the most nutritious broth that you can get, but store-bought will definitely work here. I will fully admit I'm using store-bought here, so I do not judge. We make life as easy as we possibly can, especially if you have kids like I do. There is no being a hero, you just do what you can do. Am I right? I'm just gonna give this a good stir to get everything nicely combined. Then I'm gonna add 2 more ingredients that are just gonna pump up the flavor factor even more in this soup. Starting with a Parmesan rind. This is basically the end piece that's left over after you've grated a wedge of Parmesan. I always leave these in my fridge or my freezer until I'm making a nice big soup like this, because they add so much flavor. So I'm just gonna pop my Parmesan rind right into my pot like that. I am also going to be adding a bay leaf here. I'm using a fresh bay leaf, but you could also use dried if that's easier to find. It's totally up to you. It's going to help impart even more amazing flavor on this soup. We just want to bring this mixture to a nice rolling boil, and then we're going to reduce our heat to medium, pop a lid on our pot, and let it simmer away for maybe 15 or 20 minutes. That's honestly all it takes for the flavors in this soup to really come together. Like I said, this is a really quick cooking soup, so it's super perfect for weeknights. Might I just say that my entire kitchen smells absolutely divine right now. There is just nothing more satisfying than the smell of a homemade chicken soup. Now, as you can see, over the last 15 to 20 minutes, lovely things have happened in this pot. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my Parmesan rind and my bay leaf, and then add my finishing ingredients. So the more nutrition we can add to this soup, the better, especially when it comes to cold and flu season. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some chopped baby spinach here. If you had some kale or some arugula or some chard instead, all of those would be great options. I also wanna add some nice herby flavor, and I'm gonna do that here with some fresh dill. Now, traditionally, you might add some parsley, but I find dill makes your chicken soup extra delicious. And then the final step is just going to be brightening up all of these flavors with some lemon juice. So this is a little unusual in a chicken soup, but trust me, once you try it, you will not be disappointed. It adds a little bit of tartness and just a little bit of tang to the soup, plus a really nice freshness that I think you will absolutely love. And really, guys, it's as simple as that. You can season it up to taste with a little salt and a little pepper, and it is ready to be enjoyed. I recommend serving it up fresh from the stove, piping hot, with a nice piece of crusty French bread and butter. And honestly, it is so super comforting and delicious. I hope you love it as much as I do. If you give it a try for yourselves, don't forget to tweet me, Instagram me, or Facebook me a photo, because you know how much I love seeing your kitchen creations. Remember, this recipe, like all of my recipes, is available on healthymealplans.com, our amazing meal planning site that allows you to browse more than 1,000 recipes, drag and drop them into your weekly meal plan, and then automatically generates your grocery list for the week. How easy is that? Thank you, as always, so much for watching. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, because there is lots more deliciousness where this came from.